Hello. Hello, everyone beyond the pole here. And behind that pole there. How's it going? What's up? You saw the clip. I'm Dan Fogler. This is Ryan Phillippe. Phillippe?
Phillippe.
Yeah!
I would hope you know that by now, but
I know by now.
yeah.
I actually learned it from Lena Dunham
Yeah,
on her show.
on Girls, yeah.
I didn't know the entire time.
So, they played a clip of our show, and now we have our own show again, here, I guess.
And here we are, man. This is the Dan and Ryan show. I'm going to actually sit down so no one can see me over here. So I'm gonna work from the questions that they gave me.
Okay.
For you.
All right.
And I've tampered with several of them. So you guys know who we are, right? So good. So he's gonna answer the questions. I'm gonna ask him some questions, and then we're gonna get to you guys, and that'll be fun too.
This is going very well.
It is, right?
I just spent an hour on air with the greatest interviewer of all time.
Well, don't compare me to him.
So I'm going from Howard Stern to Dan Fogler as an interviewer. But.
And I'm just like, so anyway, with a horrible radio voice.
All right, so let me pull my pants up and get up here. And if you're wondering about my outfit, I was like, what would Dave do? This is hobo chic. So, okay. So tell us about Secrets and Lies and where we are currently in the season, Ryan.
Well, Dan, we're almost finished. That was the promise of this series at the very beginning, that in just 10 episodes you would have all of the answers, and it was a series that was designed not to be laborious that way, and you don't have to question where is this show going. Sunday night, this Sunday at 9:00, you'll have the answer. You'll know who killed Tom, and then we're done.
Oh man, I got some chills there. Well, as viewers know, I play Dave, your character, Ben's best friend on the show. What is their relationship like? And that's the first part of the question.
Mm-hmm. Their relationship is like your favorite sort of sweatshirt, where you're totally comfortable and relaxed, and you don't have to pretend.
You wear a lot of sweatshirts in the show.
I do, often wet sweatshirts in the show. Yeah.
But so am I a dry, warm sweatshirt?
Yeah, like a fresh out of the dryer.
Yeah.
Smells nice. It feels like a hug. It's that kind of relationship. Yeah.
I like that.
And I think that's what people who are fans of the show, your character on the show is a great source of relief because it is so dramatic and it is so tense that I think that the show really needed you and what you bring to it, and I think people really respond to that.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
The second part of that is they would let us improvise quite a bit on the show, yeah. And what was your favorite improvised moment that made the cut or didn't make the cut?
Well, I can start with what didn't make the cut, which was whenever you would talk about the mystical raccoon that your character speaks with or has, there was that I don't know why they didn't put that in the series, but
no, they were the episode where you come to stay at my apartment for some reason, that's the safest place to go.
Yeah.
You come to my, and they told me to improvise about there being snakes and raccoons there, and then I had some crazy Rocky Raccoon friend that
The other thing is scripted television is usually pretty strict about following the script, and it was great. We have great writers on this show who have done a really masterful job of designing this show so that it could function as a mystery that unravels, and you can put together pieces and parts of it along the way. But we were really lucky in that our chemistry was such, and we got along to the extent that we did, that they really let us kind of create, which a lot of times in scripted network TV, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, right away we had a good repartee there and rapport, and I think in the very first episode, one of the first scenes, one of my favorite improvs was something you said, and I said something like, "Well, hey man, I don't, fat likes fat. Fat. I like all kinds of women. I'm a married man." But the line was, "Hey man, fat likes fat," and then you improvised, "Does fat like to sleep on his mother's couch?"
Yeah, yeah. And that made into
Brilliant.
the show. Made into the show.
Brilliant. Viewers want to know who killed Tom. Spill it. You can't spill it.
Come on. No.
Is there any way that your best friend Dave could have killed Tom? Whoa.
Well, the other thing is, as of the 9th episode, Juliette Lewis Cornell herself said that the killer is a female. So.
I know, but that's the next part of the question. Why do people still suspect Dave, even though Detective Cornell discovered the killer was definitely a female in the last episode? Why still Dave?
I mean,
And do you think Dave and Andrea are in cahoots somehow? I mean, Cornell are in cahoots somehow.
I do not think that. No.
Okay,
I don't,
good.
personally.
The clip that the viewers just saw, the one with characters, Dave is driving Benz somewhere. Is that what we just showed?
No.
No, what did we show? We were just drinking and having a good time? Whatever, skip that one. Pass. This is like $25,000 pyramid. Let's talk about real life friends, Dan Fogler and Ryan Phillippe. Let's maybe, you want to talk about, he invited me to the SNL 40th anniversary party, and that was so cool.
Yeah, we had the time of our lives that night. We felt like a couple of teenagers, we got to sit and spend time talking to Dana Carvey and, Louis C.K.
Yeah.
And,
I got to go to Mike Myers, David Carvey. I'm not worthy. I got to do that to them.
But to put that in context, Mike Myers and Dana Carvey were dressed as Wayne and Garth.
Yeah.
And Dan saw them in the hallways at SNL and literally bowed down and did I'm not
Tell
worthy.
Tell them who was on stage at the party. This was like
my
the most surreal thing.
Yeah, so the after party for the SNL 40th, Paul McCartney played, and Taylor Swift, and Elvis Costello, and Ariana Grande, and Miley Cyrus, and
Bill Murray on the
Debbie
tambourines.
Harry, the B-52s. Like, this was the after party. It was like a festival. It was really, really
And then
amazing.
Prince came on.
Yeah, and Prince. I forgot Prince.
How can you, and then it was just like, that's it. Well, once Prince comes on stage, that's it.
Yeah.
That the party has reached its zenith. It's time to go get coffee cake. But we didn't get coffee cake, did we?
We did.
Oh, we did. I forgot that part. Ryan, you're prolific on Twitter, dude. And you live tweet with both hosts during Secrets and Lies. What's that like, interacting with fans on a weekly basis? What is that like, brother?
That, having done mostly movies in my career, one of the most rewarding things about this experience with ABC and this series has been that interaction from week to week with the fans, because you don't really have anything like that in film. There's build up to your movie coming out, and then there's the reaction immediately after it's released. But the fact that this has gone on for a couple months of reading people's theories and people getting into arguments in your timeline about who it is or isn't, and watching all of that build has been really gratifying, don't you think? Like, it's a fun thing just to have a fan base for something, and
Yeah, instant gratification.
it's
nice to talk to the people. You've had a wide-ranging career, including both TV and films, from Cruel Intentions to MacGruber to Flags of Our Fathers, Damages, The Lincoln Lawyer, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Breach.
Is this my, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Google him. And now, Secrets and Lies. Talk to us about the differences in TV and film. And do you have a preference, sir?
Do I have a preference? Not really. I mean, I think the pace is a little quicker in TV. What I love is the opportunity to explore a character more in depth than a 2-hour film allows you to. And I think people are saying we're in a golden age of television. I mean, it's some of the best material out there. I didn't say we're responsible for it.
Okay.
I said that. So I think the comparison, the sort of line that used to exist between TV and film is sort of not there as much anymore, don't you think?
I mean, yes. Yes, the caliber of talent is definitely blurred on both sides. And I mean, we had you and Juliette Lewis in the show. You know, and people don't realize, like, this was like doing 5 thrillers back to back for this guy. I mean, he was in every single scene. Like, it's like doing 5 movies back to back where he's jogging everywhere and ripping his shirt off. Let's give the man a round of applause.
The hardest thing about that, in truth, is the show is a forced perspective show, meaning that there's nothing that can happen that my character isn't a part of or isn't witness to, and that translates in a work manner into no days off, no scenes off. I worked an 80-hour week one week, which no matter what job you're doing, that's taxing. And so that part of it was unexpectedly difficult, you know. Yeah. But I think it shows in the final product. Like, you literally see me lose weight throughout the season. You see my wrinkles increase. Like, it wore on me in a good way for the character.
We didn't see any wrinkles at all, man. You are like the youngest person in the world. What shows are you currently binge watching?
I just started Daredevil with my son. We started watching Daredevil on Netflix. Really, really good, right? And then there's a lot of shows that I've heard about that people tell me, and I want to watch them. Who has the time to watch all these great shows? You know, I know. I find myself wondering that. There's so many things that sound so interesting to me that, you know, I'm a dad, I got kids, you got kids. Like, we have businesses. It's hard to watch all the things that are worth watching, I think.
Yeah, agreed. Finally, I'd like to take a cue from Mr. Lipton and the Champs-Élysées and Je ne parle pas français. And now we have our Actors Studio style questions. Have you ever been on the Actors Studio?
No.
Neither have I. Neither have I. What is your least favorite word?
Prejudice.
Good one, man. You have kids, yes, you said that. What is your favorite kid-friendly curse word?
I thought you were going to say, what is your favorite kid? Which, you know, would be a horrible question.
This is weird. Who is your favorite child in the world? No. Who is your favorite?
I do have child-friendly curse words because, you know, you make effort, and then you start sounding like a dad, like you sound like yeah, like there's definitely there's words that you choose to say in the car that you don't say, you know.
Mine is my favorite one is mother fudgesicle. Say that one a lot. What's the symbol on your shirt there?
It stands for the Free West Papua movement. There's a genocide that's been going on in this island, West Papua, for about 20 years now. And West Papua is in a journalistic dead zone. The genocide's being perpetrated by the Indonesian military, and in West Papua, they cannot get their voice out. So really, the only way to spread the word about what's going on there is the stuff that I do on Twitter, or if I wear a shirt, which, you know, believe it or not, actually does have an effect. And and so there's a rally in LA next week, and yeah, these people deserve to be free. We live in a you know, it's 2015. It's like, and there are people being oppressed to this extent, and it's an important cause for me. I did a documentary about it called Isolated, that's won some awards and helps really create a better understanding of what's happening there and how we can help. So,
yeah. On a more selfish note, give to my Kickstarter. Brooklyn Gladiator. Ryan did, because he's the nicest guy in the world. Okay, and one more final question before we open it up to our audience. Right? Good? Yeah? When you eventually die, obviously not from old age, because you do not age, apparently, what would you like God to say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates, if you believe in that sort of thing?
I'd like him to say, yeah, I get it.
Thank you. Stand up and take a bow, damn it. We're going to open it up to the audience for questions here. They're going to, yes, thank you. Nice. Yes.
Hi, my name is Andrea. Thank you
Hey,
for being
Andrea.
here.
Yeah.
Week after week, I find myself yelling at you.
Yes.
I actually throw things at my TV. And I just wonder, as an actor, when you're reading the script, do you turn around and think to yourself, God, why did I do that? Or make those decisions? Like, why did I sleep with her a second time?
Yeah. That's actually a great question. And, I voiced that frustration at times to the writers, but they had the grand design of the thing more in mind than I did. So, and the other thing that you learn, or you should learn early on as an actor, is to not necessarily judge the characters you're playing, because it's part of a story, and there's a functionality to that story that if my character didn't make some of those bad decisions, it's like a house of cards; it would all fall apart. And also, there's circumstantially, if you were a person accused of a crime like this out of nowhere, and your world is imploding, and you're being judged and scrutinized, and your personal life, like, who knows if they would make all the right decisions? Who knows where their head would be at were this a real circumstance? So, but my son has the same reaction. He's like, Dad, you're so stupid, Dad. I'm like, okay, first of all, son, it's not me. And I don't write the show. So, but like, yeah, there's been a lot of that reaction on Twitter about my character making poor choices. But I think, that's common to life. We all make some poor choices.
Agreed. I make poor choices all the time. Here you are.
Hey, Ryan. I heard your appearance on the Stern Show this morning. It was great.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You could tell that you're a real fan and not just someone who's coming on to promote stuff. And
Yeah.
really cool.
I feel like in some ways Howard had a hand in raising me. I really do. Like, the amount of hours that I've spent listening to him. When I first started my career off, I was in Delaware, and my mother would drive me up for auditions up and down the Turnpike, the Jersey Turnpike. And so we would listen to him from Philly when we sit out in the morning, and then drive to New York. And it's a big point of connection with my mother and I, oddly enough, Howard Stern, but yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I know you were on that birthday show that he just won a Webby for.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if everyone who was
I think
on
we're
the
going to
show-
win a Webby for this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does everyone who was on the birthday show feel like they won the Webby too, or did he just win the Webby, or
Yeah, we can all claim ownership.
how
I
many
guess.
doors has it opened up for you now? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Yeah. Is that it?
Hi, we have a Twitter question.
Okay.
Rosalind Pincent wants to know, she says you're always running. Do you have any idea how many miles you jogged on Secrets and Lies?
I should have had like a Fitbit or something in my pocket throughout the whole thing to add up the amount. But yeah, I think it was
called
the
him
only
yeah.
way too I could stay in shape, because I had no free time. So all the times they made me run in the show was how I stayed fit.
He was the mailman of running. Rain, sleet, snow. Yeah, man. You were really. Were you ever just like, he could take a cab here?
Right, right.
I work on the stage here. Have you thought of working on the New York stage? And if so, what kind of work? What kind of plays have you thought of?
It's something that I would love to try at some point in my life or career. I haven't as of yet. Dan won a Tony for stage work. And it would really be about finding the right material and something that I could stay invested in, because when you're doing show after show and
You should do Streetcars. Play Stanley.
Yeah,
Right?
That would be awesome. That would be cool. Yeah.
Go Stella! Who's next?
One more question.
Sure.
Come on, do it now. We're here.
Hi, Ryan.
This is
man.
going to be a stupid question, by the way.
That's fine.
So
I've had a bunch of them today, so.
Well, I was actually going to ask you what your favorite candy was, but you know what? So the end of the show, is it really that satisfying or not?
I think it 100% is that satisfying. If you've stayed with it and invested the time thus far, I think the payoff is pretty, it's substantial.
Yell it.
Oh, well, I guess what I was trying to ask is it going to make us like throw more stuff at the TV or not?
You might be too emotionally incapacitated to do that. That's a teaser.
Emotional paralysis. Just for days after. Can't watch anything after. Anybody else? We good? That's it.
Season 2, they're making that decision soon, but I wouldn't be a part of it. If the show goes on, Juliet will remain, and she'll have a new cast and a new crime to solve and a new suspect to harass. But Dan and I are finished, yeah.
What would we do, baby? Good? We did it.
Thank you guys so much. That was awesome.
Thank you.